It was a stone of rare brilliance, a flawless gem that sparkled with the light of 1,000 suns. Seen only in the depths of royal courts and whispered about in distant lands, this diamond was destined to change history. Yet few could have predicted that its brilliance would one day cast a shadow over an entire kingdom. This is the story of the diamond that toppled a dynasty. If you think diamonds were always a symbol of wealth and love, think again. To rulers of old, they were so much more: power, destiny, and an unspoken claim to divine favor. This particular diamond, however, came to embody something darker: imperial overreach, betrayal, and the seeds of ruin. Our story begins in the bustling bazaars of 17th century Golconda, India, where merchants spoke of a new wonder unearthed from its legendary mines. Golconda diamonds were already revered for their unparalleled quality, but this one, known at the time as the Mountain of Light or Koh-i-Noor, was special. Reports suggest it weighed over 200 carats, an almost supernatural size for a diamond. It wasn't just its weight that dazzled, it had a clarity and sparkle that seemed to glow even in darkness. But its story isn't confined to admirers or appraisers. The diamond would soon embroil itself in the high-stakes drama of conquest and ambition. Here's something you probably never thought about. Diamonds don't just sit innocently in velvet-lined cases. No, this glittering gem turned out to be a veritable chess piece of geopolitics in the Mughal Empire, one of the world's richest and most powerful empires at the time. Shah Jahan, the emperor best remembered for constructing the ethereal Taj Mahal, acquired the diamond during his reign. Predictably, he couldn't take his eyes off it. It became part of his peacock throne, a celestial creation encrusted with an obscene number of gems, an unmistakable declaration of unearthly authority. This wasn't just bling, it was a statement. I rule with divine providence. But the Koh-i-Noor was about to outlast him. Now, here's where things get dramatic. Shah Jahan's sons, as is so common in royal histories, couldn't settle peacefully over who'd inherit the empire. Aurangzeb, one of his sons, ultimately claimed the throne, deposing his father and locking him up. The peacock throne and its jewels, including the Koh-i-Noor, became tools of legitimacy. As long as you held the throne, and implicitly the marvelous diamond, you were the chosen ruler. It was an object so desirable that its sparkle blinded even the wise to reason. What you may not know, and what I promise will make you gasp, is that this gem became the pivot in a grand game of musical thrones. Fast forward a century later, and the Koh-i-Noor was now with another dynasty. The Persian ruler Nader Shah invaded Delhi in 1739, plundering its treasures when he sacked the Mughal Empire. According to legend, Nader discovered the diamond concealed in the emperor's turban, a clever hiding place only given away because of a deceptive act of camaraderie, a ceremonial exchange of headgear. When Nader Shah saw the stone, he named it Koh-i-Noor, a phrase meaning Mountain of Light in Persian, and the name stuck. But here's the thing. This diamond had a knack for migrating with the tides of power. After Nader Shah's assassination, it passed through a chaotic succession of hands, from Afghan warlords to Sikh Maharajas, each claiming it as a spoils of war or a trophy of diplomacy. By this point, the diamond wasn't just a symbol of power. It became synonymous with conquest itself, like an ominous trail marking the downfall of its owners. Let's pause for a moment here. Have you ever known an object, or even a person, so captivating, so all-consuming, that it pulls everyone around it into chaos? That's what this diamond was. Beauty unparalleled, yes, but its allure was almost cursed. Eventually, it landed in the hands of Maharaja Ranjit Singh of Punjab in the early 19th century. Singh was one of the most formidable rulers of his time, and he cherished the Koh-i-Noor as a symbol of his might. But good rulers don't live forever, and with Singh's death came uncertainty. His empire tottered into decline, a perfect setup for an opportunistic foreign superpower to swoop in. Enter the British Empire, a force driven by industrialization, commerce, and a boundless appetite for dominion. The British had been eyeing the fading Sikh Empire for its riches and strategic significance, and through a combination of treaties, betrayals, and unparalleled colonial ambition, they annexed Punjab in 1849. It was during this annexation that they seized the Koh-i-Noor. Imagine this. The diamond that had adorned Indian emperors for centuries, fiercely contested by kingdoms, was now shipped in an iron safe to Queen Victoria. But here's the kicker. Queen Victoria reportedly found the Koh-i-Noor underwhelming. Let that sink in. This gem, which had spelled doom and glory for rulers across centuries, lay before her as a dull, imperfect stone. It wasn't what she had imagined. Yet Victoria's jewelers decided that the diamond's significance lay not just in its appearance but in its history. In 1852, they recut it into a smaller and more dazzling shape, altering its form but, crucially, not its legacy as an epic loot of empire building. Today, the Koh-i-Noor remains embedded in the British crown jewels, a highly contested piece claimed by at least 4 countries. But its beauty remains tainted by the blood and treachery it carries. It stands as a silent witness to centuries of brilliance and betrayal, ambition and loss. Why does this matter? Because the Koh-i-Noor isn't just a diamond, it's a mirror. It reflects the mesmerizing beauty of human creativity and the equally mesmerizing dangers of greed. In its sparkle is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of empires and the futility of hoarding power. And so, it begs the question. If you could gaze into the Koh-i-Noor, what would you see? Would its brilliance blind you to the lessons of history? Or would you peer into its depths and uncover a truth as priceless and as devastating as the stone itself? That, my friends, is the story of the diamond that toppled a dynasty. I hope this tale illuminates a part of history that shines brighter and more complex than any gem we can hold.